She is the X Factor. I mean,
She is the X Factor, yeah, of course, of course.
right? She's new and she's the X Factor, and she's added a lot of color, energy, vibrance, and personality to the show.
So when they come on the show, new ingredients, new techniques, new combination of flavors, everything is new for us. It's not a one-way road.
A life without calories is not a life. Eat calories. So in England, we have to put the number of calories on the dish now.
Hi, you're watching OTTplay. I am Nirali in conversation with the stalwarts of culinary world. Welcoming Chef Marco, Chef Vikas, Chef Ranveer and Chef Pooja for a conversation on OTTplay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Pleasure.
It's truly exciting, my pleasure to have the legends like you on our channel. Firstly, thank you for that. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule. But coming to MasterChef India, the new season is just round the corner. Tell me, how excited are you guys for the new season? What's going to be the new element and the X factor this time?
Chef Pooja.
Chef Pooja.
She is the X Factor. I mean,
She is the X factor, yeah, of course, of course.
right? She's new and she's the X Factor, and she's added a lot of color, energy, vibrance, and personality to the show. And other than that, I think the contestants, the home cooks, they are a fantastic bunch. All of them are from across India. Really small towns getting represented. And this time, I think especially we're seeing the power of social media and what it can do to a home cook in a really small town.
Absolutely.
It exposes him to the entire world, gives him the opportunity to create dishes, source ingredients, and work with ingredients that we would not have imagined 5-7 years ago.
Yeah, absolutely. But coming to you, you are the X factor this season. Apart from the contestants, what would you like to add?
I just think it's a very, very exciting season. There's a new energy, there's a new vibe, and yeah, there's just so much to learn. I think the contestants are the real stars of the show, and of course, standing next to legends, I think I learn something new every single day, and I can't wait for you guys to watch the show.
Absolutely. Fingers crossed and waiting for 16th October. Sir, how's India treating you firstly? And how excited are you to be collaborating with them?
Well, firstly, coming back to India is always a privilege. And every time I arrive in India, I see something very different. And I have to say, there's no place on this earth that spoils me and shows me kindness like India. Now, secondly, being given the privilege and the great honour to do a show with these legends, these gastronomic giants, is extraordinary. And I can't wait to have my 12-course dinner tomorrow. There's 12 contestants that are all cooking one dish for me.
Yeah,
so I'm going to have delicious food, because I'm a great fan of Indian cuisine. And the one thing, and I've said it today, and I say every time I come to India, that it's not given the recognition it deserves on the international stage, because no country in this world, in my opinion, understands spice and understands the use of spice like the chefs in India. And what they can do with them is something I can't do. So every time I come to India, I'm humbled by their technical ability. It's like I was in the hotel down the road, and the chef who cooked my lunch today, as you can see it's on my t-shirt, he cooked me the most delicious biryani and the most delicious lamb rogan josh. It was from the Taj Mahal Hotel. And he was a star, but also what he had, apart from having great ability, he had great humility. And I thought he was extraordinary. He's my new best friend's friend.
That's great, sir. But to three of you, how excited are you to, collaborate with a celebrity chef like him? Like to be in his presence and the aura that he has.
It's amazing. We were kids when we were in colleges. We were reading about him, his work, his restaurants, his journey. It's been an inspiration, and it's great that these home cooks had an opportunity to have an insight from him about their cooking skills.
What would you like to add?
No, I think it's very exciting. It's very exciting for all of us, you know, to be in his presence. And he's seen the journey in a way that very few people, very few chefs have, right? And I think for us to get the essence of the journey in his conversations, in his take on food, it's a privilege, right? It's a real privilege to be able to, like I said, Hindi mein kehte na saar. You're getting the nectar of a great chef's life curve and his journey. You know, and you don't want to miss a moment. You want to
it's like a surreal moment, and the feeling that you have.
Yeah.
Pooja, what would you like to add?
I would agree with the two of them, and I would just like to say that it's a real honor and privilege to share this platform with Chef Marco.
Yeah, but a question to each one of you: the contestants who participate on MasterChef India, they do get to learn a lot of cooking tips from you. But personally, each one of you, which is the one cooking tip that you have learned from a contestant on the show?
Many times they come from very different backgrounds. We don't know so much about Indian cuisine. Nobody can know. It's such a vast cuisine and country. So when they come on the show, new ingredients, new techniques, new combinations of flavors, everything is new for us. It's not a one-way road. It is a two-way road. We learn from them, and you know, they learn more techniques from us to enhance their cooking skill. That's all.
Of course.
I think the most important is they give you insight into the world they came from.
Sure.
And I think what's really important when we talk about food, a story is way more important than a recipe.
Of course.
A recipe can confuse you, but a story can inspire you.
True.
And that's what the contestants do. They don't just inspire us as judges, they inspire all those viewers, because they're giving those viewers a little insight into their world, and the world that they came from, and the world which inspired them. And they're putting all that on the plate in front of us. Now that's called sharing. That's called genius. That's called emotion. And that's why people keep on turning on the TV and watching MasterChef India, MasterChef Australia, because it changes lives, it inspires people. And that is the greatest gift anyone can ever be given, is the opportunity to share.
Yeah, of course. But to you, Sir Marco, what would be the one dish that you would introduce or probably personally cook for three of them? Like if you had to, a hypothetical question.
That's a really good question, actually. I think, as I've grown older, so as a young man, I was thinking the other day, because I've nearly been in the industry 50 years, and I've been asked to do a book on my life of 50 years in the kitchen. But I was thinking the other day that my life as a cook really started when I was 3 or 4, sitting on the side watching my mother cook. And then when I was 6, my mother died. And so therefore I had to work in the kitchen, peeling potatoes, topping sprouts, podding peas, washing up. So by the time my career started professionally at the age of 16, I'd done 10 years in the kitchen. And so my first head chef really was my father and my brothers. But the reality is as I grow older, what's interesting is without realizing it was how much I was taught as a child. So when it comes to cooking now, I gravitate towards Italy. Even though I was trained in that world of French cuisine, I like to cook the dishes that my mother cooked. So therefore, for my new best friend who's next to me, and I haven't yet mastered how to pronounce his name, is I think I would cook an aubergine parmigiani.
Oh, yum.
Because he talks about vegetables a lot, and pulses, and delicious things like that. But I think to master the art of cooking the perfect aubergine parmigiani, because it's a wonderful dish,
Classic.
but most people don't do it very well. And the aubergine always goes grey. So I've spent a lot of time perfecting those dishes that my mother cooked. And then for my new best friend, who I've met before, and next to me, I can't pronounce his name either. It's terrible, isn't it? I shouldn't be confessing like this on national TV, but anyway, it'll get me into trouble. Is I would think I would cook something like a pasta e fagioli. It's little macaronis with beans, which are made from ballotti beans. It's like a soup, but then like a stew at the same time, with parmesan and olive oil. It's delicious. And for the young lady,
For the young lady.
the X factor,
The X Factor.
I would. There was a man called Gualterio Marchesi. Gualterio Marchesi, God bless his soul, he's no longer alive, was the first Italian chef to win 3 stars in Michelin.
Rome.
And what he did was, he did his training in France, then brought French method back to Italy, and introduced French method into Italian cuisine, which works. And then he became the first Italian chef to win 3 stars in Michelin. But one thing he gave me was his recipe for his panna cotta.
Oh.
And when I say, I've tried lots of panna cottas, but the one thing about Gualterio Marchesi's panna cotta, it's very, very, very deliciously dreamy. And when food makes you want more, that's when you know it's right. When you have a mouthful, it's delicious, then another mouthful, it's delicious, and you can't stop yourself. That's when something's delicious.
Of course.
When you find yourself going back for more. And so that's what I would do for you.
Thank you.
The lady who's bringing me passion fruit macaroons tomorrow.
Could I get the recipe if we don't have time to make the panna cotta for us?
Business of
I'm very happy to give you the recipe. Seriously, it's the best panna cotta in the world.
Tomorrow.
But it's not really a panna cotta. It's a creme vanille. It's made with 100% cream, lots of vanilla, a little bit of sugar. But the secret is not to boil the cream, just to scald it, and then to whisk in the gelatine. It is truly deliciously sensational. Seriously, I don't know a dish which is more seductive than that.
Wow.
Because of the texture. It's like when you get the most delicious burrata. You find yourself going back for more. It's just sensational. You just want to drown in it.
That's true.
Just remember, this is the 3rd time I've said this today, but you're not the first journalist. A life without calories is not a life. Eat calories. So in England, we have to put the number of calories on the dish now. So I go for the dish with the most calories. Deliciously fattening. Look at me. Never trust a thin chef. That's what Fernand Poin said.
Oh my God. He's hinting at you. But on a lighter note, a quick segment for, I'll be giving just two celebrity names, and all you have to do is associate a Bollywood or a Hollywood celebrity with a food item and just reveal the elements that match their personalities. Moving on to you, Chef Vikas, Ranveer Singh, which food dish does he remind you of, and the elements that matches his personality?
Vindaloo.
Ranveer Singh. Chaat, I would say.
Hot and spicy.
Yeah.
Hot and spicy. Chef Ranveer Kapoor.
I think a good tar korma or a nihari. You know, sophisticated and classic.
Like classic, yeah, of course, of course.
A dish of pedigree.
Pedigree, correct. Chef Pooja, Alia Bhatt.
अपने background बोलते हैं, promotion भी हो जाएगी.
I think Alia would be anything with the chocolate, because I think she's so versatile as a great base ingredient, and then she just flows in whatever you put.
She just flows everywhere.
Greatest of her generation.
Chocolate macarons.
Yeah. Moving on to you, Chef Ranveer. Ananya Pandey.
Vanilla cupcake.
Chalo.
Chalo, bol diya. Okay, and moving on to the final one, Chef Pooja, Priyanka Chopra Jonas.
Ooh. Pani puri.
Pani puri.
Spicy, full of flavor, burst, surprising.
Of course. But thank you so much, all of you, for
Thank
joining
you.
on
Thank you very
OTTplay.
much.
Thank
Thank
you
you,
so much.
everybody.
Thank you so
This was fantastic.
Have a nice evening.